Guys, and welcome into the Rams house. In today's video, we're going to be talking about if the Rams should target DeSean Jackson, as he was just released by the Philadelphia Eagles, and that doesn't say that he was a bad talent in the least bit. He actually had a ton of talent, and he's a great receiver. I'm just thinking that the Eagles want to go different directions just because of the organization, just the direction that they're moving. So I think this guy still has a lot of talent, and I just want to say before we get into this, it's not like I don't have faith in Van Jefferson, because I think him as a rookie for the Rams is going to break out. But, there are talks about Marvin Jones coming, John Ross. We want to find a deep threat, and this guy isn't like a complete deep threat where you'd be like, geez, this guy's fast, but he also can take the defense. He ran a 4.35 at the combine, and compared to Van Jefferson and Marvin Jones, they ran a 4.39 and 4.40. So, he's not like the fastest guy. Here's his contract that he had with the Eagles, so he is a little bit on the pricier side for the Rams. Not the most pricey guy, but with the Rams salary cap, it would be a little bit harder to make this deal work, just because where they're sitting as opposed to other teams. But, we're seeing a lot of Rams players going in this free agency, and it doesn't look like they're going to bring back. And if they really wanted some guys, we know that they can make it happen, and they can restructure Aaron Donald, they can restructure Jalen Ramsey, they can restructure Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, the list goes on. It really just depends on if they want the guy. Now, this guy does take the top off the defense. He's a very good deep threat, but he also is just pretty fast. I would say some of his injury concerns would just be a bit of a concern for me. Personally, I would lean a little bit more towards Marvin Jones, just because he has that experience that with Matthew Stafford that would be very valuable to the team. And again, it's not saying that the Rams have a weak spot at wide receiver, but, it wouldn't be bad to add on another guy, because we saw Josh Reynolds go, and maybe adding another guy to fill that void would help. Now, again, he's on the pricier side. I would honestly take Marvin Jones over Jackson, but DeSean Jackson does have a little bit more of that speed that the Rams are looking for too, so that's another thing to consider. Is it really, if the Rams signed him and he had if he had a cheaper contract, it would be because he wanted to play for them. And the Rams have a pretty attractive offer with the amount of guys they have and what they've brought in, and they just got started in the offseason. So they have a pretty attractive offer. So it could be that DeSean Jackson wants to come here and he doesn't care about the price. But in my opinion, it's hard for me to see this happening, honestly. And I think that if the Rams were to pick up another guy, I'd like Marvin Jones better, just because of the chemistry that he's built with Matthew Stafford in the past years. And Marvin Jones just goes up and gets that ball. But, DeSean Jackson is somebody we can consider, since any team can consider him now that he was released. I think he would be a good enough target to go after. He does have that speed that he brings. He can get the deep route running going, and that could free up some spaces for Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp and Van Jefferson too as well. So I think that would also just be a very complimentary add for us. Again, he's a little bit more pricier, for sure. So in my opinion, going this direction would be if we really see something in him, because the price just can kind of tell you he's not the most expensive guy, but we have some other guys in free agency and we could get in a trade that's just not this expensive. So it would really be if the Rams saw something that they really liked in him and they had a plan for him, which I can definitely see happening, but I don't see him going to the Rams with a type of price he demands, and he could fit better in another scheme. But this is a guy for me that the Rams should definitely consider signing, and that's what I think. So thank you so much for watching this video. Horns up, and God bless.